Hello, this is Annalisa from Faith's Dream Crate, and welcome back to my channel. You're watching my Valentine's Day card series for 2023. I will be using this stamp set from Simon Says Stamp called Happy Mail, and I will also be using the stamping foam from Simon Hurley. This is the heart-shaped one. I'm going to be creating some fun textured backgrounds with the heart cutout for this, and I will also be creating 3 cards in today's video because there's so many cute images in this Simon Says stamp that I could not just create one card. So I'm popping out the heart from this stamping foam, and I'm going to use this simple dotted embossing folder that I had in my collection to create some fun, simple texture. So with the stamping foam, you heat it up and then quickly move it to the texture that you want. And I did it a few times because I wanted to get it just right, and because there's such a fine detail in this embossing folder, it just wasn't getting everywhere. But with these fun tools that add fun to your projects, just keep working with them and get the results that you want, and just go with the flow. So now that I'm happy with the texture on the heart, I'm adding some Distress Oxide ink in various colors. So I'm using green, 3 different shades of green for this first card. You want to use water-based inks, and then you want to lightly mist it with your sprayer. This one I didn't lightly spray it, but it still gives you this really cool look, a fun colored heart background. If you hold the spray bottle further away and lightly mist it, you're going to get more of that texture in the details. So for this next one, I am using pink, so I just cleaned it off from the previous colors, adding 3 new colors of pink. And for this one, I definitely lightly misted it, and you're going to see the results. So you get that fine detail of those little dots in there. I just love how this turned out. So cleaning the stamp off one more time because we are making 3 cards, as I said. Then for the next card, we are going to come in with some red. So I picked 3 different shades of red that I have in my collection. I'm slowly collecting the Distress Oxide colors because I love them and I use them all the time. I have all of the mini inks, but not the oxides. So for this one, I do end up stamping it again. This one was a little bit off-centered, but that's okay. I put it off to the side so I can use it again. But I really love how this turned out. This gave me more of the texture because I still had a lot of ink left on the block. So you can definitely do first impression stamping and then second generation stamping, and you're going to get different results. And why not use up all that ink? So now I'm pulling out that stamp from Simon Says Stamp, and I actually created these cards for my kiddos based on their favorite colors and some of the cute images that I felt represented them. So I did the coffee cups for my daughter, the Love Express truck for one of my boys, and then the hot air balloon for one of my boys as well. And for some reason, my stamping block did not like the first time I stamped the hot air balloon, so I'm stamping it again there. And then I'm going to cut these out so that I can color them and I have a smaller paper to work with. And there is a die set that goes along with this. I do not have it. Would have come in handy, but just keep that in mind. There is a die set. These were relatively easy to fussy cut out, but there is a die set to go along with them as well. And I might pick it up in the future. So I'm just coloring these cute little images in Spectrum Noir markers, and I'll have all of the supplies that I use today in today's video linked down below in the description box. If you want a closer look at these stamps, you can definitely go check them out in these videos. There's a lot going on and I have a lot to share. So I can't just sit there for a long time and show you all of the cute little images. So you can head on over to Simon Says Stamp and just look at all the super cute images and be like, oh yeah, that's super, super cute. So just coloring these up in some fun colors, trying to keep with the themes of the heart, but also adding in some more colors. So once all the coloring is done, I fussy cut these images out, and then I used the Memento Tuxedo black marker just to ink up the edges, to finish up the edges where you still see that white. Just kind of finishes it up and makes it look like it was stamped that way, that you didn't fussy cut it out, and I feel like it just completes it, especially when you fussy cut really close to it. You can also choose to cut a white border around it, and that's kind of the look you get with die cutting. And then before I actually do that, I take my Sakura Jelly Roll pen and add some white details, some highlights where shadows would be, and I just find that this makes the images stand out and pop. So I'm just showing you the Memento Tuxedo black marker, and now I'm going to bring in the cards and figure out where I want to put these super cute images. So I felt like I was going to lose the green heart with that, so I decided to put it off to the side, and then you have these two hearts going up into the sky. And I really liked the white background, but how do I make these hearts pop? How do I make the white background pop, but still keep that white background? So how do I finish up these cards? So I just took a pen that I have. These are the Inkjoy pens, and I added some dashes around the heart. I felt like this really made it pop and stand out, brings out those colors, makes them more vibrant, and adds some interest to all of the colors. So I did this on all of the cards, and then you're going to see how I finish up the background a little bit more as we go along. I just kind of went with the flow as I was making these cards. I had an idea in my head of what I wanted, but as I continued to create, more ideas kept coming, and I really like how they turned out in the end. And you could definitely do this same technique and continue using those images and make a ton of little Valentine's Day cards. This would be great for like a classroom. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and glue or stamp Happy Valentine's Day, I think, from this set. So I'm using the Sentiment Happy Valentine's Day from the Happy Mail Simon Says stamp set, and they did smudge a little bit because I was using the stabbing block, and I don't know, but that's okay. I fixed it with a pen and a marker. I didn't want to pull out my stamping platform for these cards for whatever reason, but I just went with the flow. I love how I was able to put the sentiment in a few different places here. In the green one, I was able to put it in the heart, and on the other two, I was able to put it on the bottom on the white space. You could even put it on the top as well, but I felt like the bottom had some more space that needed to be filled. So as you can see, I'm just coming back in with a pen, fixing a few of the areas that didn't stamp perfectly. And now I'm going to glue down the little images. I thought about putting foam tape on them, but in the end, I made them flat. So getting those adhered, and then I'm going to be able to finish up the background and add the final details. So I was looking at these and I was like, I like the white space, but how do I continue the flow of this card and make it just right and finish it up? So I added more dashes around the edges of the card, and then I'm bringing in some pops of color and using the specific color, like the pink one and the red one and the green one. And I'm adding pops of color from scrapbook.com, a little dot in between all of the dashes around the edges and around the heart. And this just brings a finishing touch, some more texture, and brings in more of the color from the heart. And I really like how it turned out. So that is going to finish up today's cards. I hope you enjoyed the process of these 3 different Valentine's Day cards. If you did, give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you are not already, and turn on those notifications because I am going to be uploading at least one more video for Valentine's Day, I'm hoping. And I have birthday cards coming, St. Patrick's Day cards, and Easter cards are on the way too. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.